Hello, welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video. That is the new suit, the Messala. And finally, we got the last of Shirako's suits. Or possibly. They mentioned 5 of Shirako's suits. Might be getting the titanium. Yeah, it'd be lovely. But anyway, the Messala, which, finally got it. And before we start off with the stats and all that, I gotta say the first two matches here, the only two matches for this video, this initial thoughts video. The first one is gonna be me playing it for the first time in space with Taro on the enemy team. It's a quick match. We try to find a match together and with some other friends, but space doesn't like it when you sortie with more than one person. And and all they gave out for 600 and 650 was City Ruins and Arctic Base. And that was one of the first few matches I played with the Messala was an Arctic Base, and that's going to be the second match. You know, what can you do? But yeah, the Messala is actually a pretty damn good suit. Playing it so far, it's really fun. And we'll start off with the stats. Of course, it's a general at 600. I say of course, but it's probably going to be a higher tier suit. But yeah, general 600. A little part of me inside, I was hoping that it could be a support, but they got to give it a dodge roll, and supports don't get that. But yeah, start off with the stats here. The level 1 600 suit gets 21,000 HP, 29 ballistic and beam resistance, 16 melee resistance, 40 range strength, 20 melee strength, 140 speed, 220 boost speed, and I believe when it's in transformation, when it's in its transformation, it actually gets the highest boost speed out of all the transformations, which I believe is like 240. I have to double check on that. And you get 80 thruster gauge, and you get 69 turning speed. Nice. And then for slots, you have 9 close, 20 mid, and 15 long range slots. And yeah, looking at the stats here, they're not too bad at all. You get 21,000 HP for such a big suit, and you get some decent resistances. 29 on ballistic and beam. You can definitely tank this suit up pretty hard, and trust me, it's going to need it. And the 40 range strength is pretty nice as well, and the 20 melee strength can be pretty good with his weapons. And what are those weapons, you ask? Well, let's get into it. We'll start off with the primary weapons. Your first weapon is the arm-mounted Vulcan, which is 150 damage, 60 rounds, and 250 range. Which, even though it says Vulcans, it's actually, I say Vulcan, it's more like a machine gun, and actually stuns pretty quick. Like, you can sustain fire on somebody. I believe out of its 60 round clip, if you hit every bullet, of course, you can get 3 stuns on somebody, and you can get a stun even faster accumulation wise if you use your missiles that I'll mention later on. So yeah, definitely a pretty good weapon, excellent at keeping pressure and finishing off low health opponents, especially since it's a ballistic weapon, and against raids that have low ballistic, or just suits that have low ballistic in general, which is a lot of suits at these higher costs. Pretty good weapon. And then for your next weapon, you have your melee weapon, which is the Messala Beam Saber, which is 2,200 damage. And I've seen the Neutral Swing before. I don't remember where. I want to say it's the Riga Z Customs Neutral Swing, maybe even the Tristan's, but I've seen it before, but it's really weird. You think it's going to hit, but it's not, and I keep getting confused because the Messala is a big suit. You think, I keep thinking I'm going to hit my Neutral Swing at certain points, but I don't. But, if you can learn where it hits, then you obviously it's not going to be much of a problem for you. And the downswing is actually like the Zeusas, where you do a thrust forward and you can go a little bit of a distance. That's pretty nice, and it does some great damage. Good for catching people off guard if they're not prepared for it. Just don't spam it, And you get 2 melee swings as well. And then your secondary weapons, you have the Messala Armed Grenade Launcher, which is 1,000 damage, 3 rounds, and 300 range. Which, even though it says grenade launcher, it's kind of like the Vulcan. It's different from the other grenade launchers, at least the typical grenade launchers. Instead of firing multiple times in a row, it actually fires one at a time, and it takes a while after every shot you use, and actually instant stuns with each shot. And it can go a little bit of distance. I say distance. It goes fast. Not as fast as like the the Re-Gelgu's grenade launcher. That shit is fucking quick. But this suit is it's good enough to do a follow up with your other weapons to get a stun lock, which is really nice actually. However, I feel like it might be a me thing again, but I feel like the explosion radius on the grenade launcher is really short. Like it has to be right next to them for it to stun with the explosion radius. So if you're gonna hit it, I feel like you should be able to hit it. You're gonna have to hit it dead on, which shouldn't be too much of a problem because again, it is kind of a fast projectile, and you want to use it for stun locks or to initiate a stun lock. So shouldn't be too much of a problem for people. And again, another ballistic damage weapon. So pretty nice. Your next weapon is the internal arm claw. The iron claw. But yeah, 3,000 damage. And this is actually an interesting weapon because you can actually swing twice with this, and it actually knocks people over. It doesn't do a heavy stagger, it just knocks people over with just a regular swing, whether it be the neutral or the side swing. And the downswing, you actually do another slide. It's not as far as the beam saber downswing, but enough to where if you do your downswing with the neutral, with the beam saber, my bad, you can follow up with the arm downswing pretty easily, and then back to your beam saber downswing. So pretty nice weapon. You can kind of do a Zogok with it. Go from beam saber to claw to beam saber again. So you got some nice melee combos going on with this suit. So really good weapon to mix up with. And of course, you can just run up and just straight jab somebody in the chest, and they'll fall over. You give them a good old heart punch. They'll fall over, and you go focus somebody else. So there's some utility in that. And then the next weapon you have is the Shoulder Mega Particle Cannon ×2, which is 1,400 damage. You have 80% heat rate, you have 400 range, and you can charge it. Best thing about this suit is that you can move while charging it, although you have to stop to fire. But this thing stuns normally, but if you fully charge it, you actually get a blast radius effect, which I believe this is the first... if you correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the first beam weapon to have a blast radius on it. At least that I've noticed. There might be another suit that has it that I just can't remember, but yeah, that makes it really useful for if you might not be able to get somebody directly, you can hit the ground next to them, or the wall behind them, directly behind them, to get a stun. Or maybe if you're trying to stun multiple people, you can try and get a blast radius shot that way. So definitely really useful, and I believe it keeps those attributes when you're in transformation mode, which we'll get into that soon. And then your next weapon is the I already mentioned it does the normal stun normally without having to charge it, so you can definitely do some good stun locks with that. Alright, now your next weapon is the Shoulder Missile Pod ×2, which is 300 damage, 18 rounds, and 350 range, which if you remember the stream I did for this suit where it mentioned that the missiles have guidability, and of course everybody guessed it that it was going to be like the Gazom's missiles, which isn't bad at all. The Gazom's missiles are really good, and it's no different for this suit. In case you shoot too far to the right, you can lean it left to hit somebody, and if you hit a few of your missiles and then go for your Vulcans, you get a pretty quick stun accumulation. Overall, pretty nice weapon to have, actually. Although it's a little bit more focused for mid-range, but it still works really well. And hey, mission completed. We'll see what we got going on real fast for our first space mission. And hey, top individual score, almost 5,000. That's pretty damn good. And we're going to praise our support. And I think I'm going to praise Taru as well, because he did really well in the double Zeta in such a big open map. And yeah, third place, 7-2, not too bad at all. Although most of that was me finishing up on kills. But yeah, next match, Arctic Base. Let's go. 650 again. And yeah, so yeah, those shoulder missile pods, the guide ability is pretty useful, as it should be, because that's really good on the Gazome. It's gonna be really good for this suit as well. Good for adding on damage in case you don't have like the Vulcans for the stun accumulation, or maybe overheated your beams. Just good add-on damage, And again, they're ballistic, so really good damage. And then for your mobile armor weapons, you have the Shoulder Mega Particle Cannon ×2 again, which you just saw me use. And they're the same thing as when you're in mobile suit mode. The normal one stuns uncharged. There we go, the normal one. What the fuck am I talking about? The uncharged shot stuns and readies up pretty fast. And the charged shot will cause a blast radius. I'm not sure if it does if it penetrates. If it does, I'll let you know in a future video. I just haven't got any situations where I could shoot through 3 people or 2 people to test it out. But yeah, pretty useful mobile armor mode weapon. And your next one is the shoulder missile pods ×2 again. However, I should actually mention for the first one, you actually do less damage in your mobile armor mode. You do 1,100 damage instead of 1,400. And you actually have more range, of course, if you heard me say it, 500 range. So you definitely can snipe a little bit with this suit in mobile armor mode. And the shoulder missile pods ×2 is no different. You actually do 100 less damage. So you have 200 damage instead of the 300 damage in your mobile suit mode. And you have 18 rounds, and it has the same range, though, 350 range. And yeah, instead of being able to guide it, which would be weird because you're kind of trying to guide yourself through the air, it actually just shoots straight forward. And instead of it doesn't feel like it's fast firing like the guided ones, your mobile suit mode missiles. But it's good for adding on damage. And I believe they're not that great for stun accumulation if you're starting off with that or trying to get a stun with it. If you're using that, then you transform into your mobile suit mode again, then use your Vulcans. You can probably get a stun that way. But if you're using it, you're probably going to be using it after following up from your particle cannons for added damage. And again, they're ballistic, so decent damage there. And now for skills, you have 1 dodge roll. That's it, 1 dodge roll. You have blast stabilizer, so if you're near a opponent when they blow up, you don't get heavy staggered. Nice, especially with this suit because it's big. You don't want to get you don't want like a tip of your shoulder going in some blast radius range and then getting heavy staggered for it. That'd be really annoying. You have balancers. You have AMBAC level 2, which with how they mentioned how the suit is super used to being under extreme atmosphere pressure, being around Jupiter, trying not to get pulled into its gravity. Maybe it should have a little bit higher. I don't know what AMBAC level 3 would be, but maybe we'll just keep it at AMBAC level 2 for now. Damage control level 3, which it's useful when it happens, but for the most part, I mentioned this before with other suits like the Pallas Athene, damage control is really not that useful at these higher costs because everyone has a instant stun weapon, unless you're fighting something like the Tristan, who's not using his charge shots, who's just going to be uncharging and then using his Gatling gun hand, or arm, I should say. Yeah, it's going to be useful when it does happen, when somebody is trying to get in a stun accumulation on you. Like, let's say an O is trying to not use one of his 3 ammo he has for his beam rifle, so he's trying to use his rapid fire to get a stun off. Well, it's going to take longer for him, so he might as well just stun you normally, So there's that. It's nice to have it at least, You have force injectors level 2. You have enhanced tackle level 5. Which is interesting. You have radar level 2. You have melee combo controller level 1 for both your weapons. You have explosive armor, which is if somebody shoots something explosive near your feet, you will not get stunned. However, if it hits you directly, then of course you're going to get stunned. You have the ability to transform, of course. You actually have back add-on buffer and leg buffer level 2. I believe that's 15%. And I believe for your back buffer, it's just going to be that giant shoulder verniers thing on your back there. And then for your legs. Self-explanatory. You have flight control level 2, so if you're falling, you can boost while you're falling. And then you have fall prevention, so if you're in midair, you actually won't be able to get stunned normally. Like if somebody shoots a bazooka at you, maybe not bazooka, maybe I'm thinking beam rifle, something that can instant stun you, you'll be able to not fall, of course, unless it's something like it's part of an accumulation stun, then of course you're gonna fall normally. But yeah, it's good if you're falling. That's what I'm trying to get at. And then for your mobile armor mode, you actually have shock dampeners, and of course you have the ability to ram people, which actually does good ram damage. And then you actually have Transformation Optimizer, which I believe is what the Humbrabi and I think another suit has, maybe a few by now. But that, I believe, when you start, you take less consumption off your thrusters when you're boosting. I believe that's 25%. And I don't remember off the top of my head when you transform, but of course you have less consumption when you're transforming. So you can, if you really wanted to, you can just rapid fire transform in and out. So if you want to go for like a thruster build gauge, that's definitely useful. And yeah, that's all we got on the Messala here, and I can definitely say that this is actually a pretty damn good suit when it's all rolled together here. There's one really big flaw that I'll get into when I start the pros and cons. But yeah, actually, I just go ahead and start it right now. The cons, first of all, and the only one that I can see so far, is that the suit is fucking massive. And I know that's a word I've been throwing around lately for a lot of these suits, but this one, yeah, and it's kind of a problem a little bit here because this suit only has one dodge roll, so you're going to be getting caught easily from a lot of suits at this cost, at 600, 650, and it can be quite annoying if people are really good at doing their jobs. You don't have, I'm kind of stuck in the balance of if I want this thing to have maneuver armor level 1 or not. Because to me, it already has such a laundry list of good things about this suit that giving it maneuver armor might be a little bit overboard. But at the same time, it's you're not going to be able to get off like crazy stuff because people will just see you and they'll just instantly shoot you because they see, oh, hey, that guy's not on my team and he's really big. I think I'm going to shoot him. And then another guy walks by and he's like, oh, hey, you shooting that guy? I'm going to shoot him too. And then a third and a fourth guy go up thinking the same thing. So it can be a little bit annoying. Also, that run-up punch on the, nice. Suicide punch. The dynamite kick. But yeah, that can be really annoying to get stun locked. And that can potentially hurt it because it's so big. And I'm kind of stuck in between if it should have maneuver armor level 1. I'm going to say it doesn't need it for now, and we'll see how the suit handles itself in the coming weeks. Especially as people start to learn how to play it, and they'll get off like some crazy combos. I'm gonna get my revenge. Yeah, one punch. There you go. Oh, fuck you. Time out. We'll see what we got going on real fast, and I'll go on with the pros. Mission completed, and we'll see what we got going on here. Good works all around, and hey, top assist score, and unfortunately, I believe I'm not going to get too good of a placement here. I believe just below average, because this is a 5v5. I'm going to send some praises out, and hey, 6th place, 1 and 2, but hey, I actually got 2nd in pursuit assist and some, 1st in assist, so I'm fine with that. And for pros, the pros for this suit is that it definitely has some really good weapons. At least for utility wise, it doesn't do like a lot of damage. You're not going to be melting people in 3 hits unless you're just continually downswinging people. But that you have to be really careful. You have to get in a checkmate situation with somebody. If you know what that means from my vocabulary, a checkmate situation is where if you catch somebody by themselves and you waste their defenses, like a dodge roll, or you get them out of their maneuver armor and they can't do anything about it, and you can just lay waste to them. That would be a checkmate situation for the Messala, but it's going to be kind of hard because of how big it is and how much it'd be a priority for the people. But the weapons are good, and of course, since it's easier to get those checkmate situations, or just to continue a stun lock situation with this suit because of it has 2 stuns ready on hand. You have the grenade launcher and you have the shoulder beams, particle cannons, I should say. And of course, the mobile armor, you can stay around a long time for the shock dampeners and damage control level 3, which actually works really well with shock dampeners for this suit in transformation mode, of course. So, and you can get some stun locks that way, and you got some really nice accumulation stuns with this. So you get pretty much everything you'd want for a general. You get at least a dodge roll, you're fast, you have 2 melees, one of them can knock somebody over if you really want to just neutral and side swing, or you can use that for a combo. You have 2 instant stuns, you can fly, and you have really good accumulation stuns. So this suit is really good utility-wise and just weapon-wise as well. Even though it doesn't do like super insane damage, it's really good. It's just unfortunate that It's really big, and you're probably going to get fucked up a lot if you just even peek at somebody the wrong way, which, again, for me, it feels like the way to play this suit is you want to play long range, and then slowly, as the battle unfolds and people start dying off, you can start getting more close range against people, or at least mid range to keep up a stun lock, and then there's one or two people out, you can start going melee crazy, or if somebody else is fighting somebody, you can attempt to intervene, somebody else trying to help them, like another enemy trying to come up on your teammate, punch them down or keep them occupied. So this suit, pretty damn good suit. Again, only one like really big flaw about this suit, and that's literally because it's big. Everything else seems really tight for this suit. And again, I'm not sure if this suit needs maneuver armor level 1. I'm gonna have to, again, we'll have to see the next coming weeks, but so far really good. Really good suit, and really fun as well. Like it's it's just fun going up to somebody, and just punching them and they fall over. Especially if it's like a shock dampener suit like the Doven Wolf. Just walk up, just fucking jab it in the chest, and it's like, and they fall over, and then you can fuck them up because Doven Wolf doesn't have high melee stats. Or, keep somebody stun locked. But, yeah, so that is the Messala. I almost said Messala, like I'm fucking Jar Jar Binks. Messala. But yeah, that's the Messala, and that's going to be the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And, type up in the comment section how you feel about the Messala. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I actually like the suit. Just in terms of just it being a really fun suit and having some really good weapons. It's a really handy 600 suit that can even compete in 650. As you saw those two matches, both those matches were 650. And I was burning down the house pretty much. Well, at least that, I won't say burning down the house. I'm over glorifying the Messala here, but you get what I mean. It's able to handle itself at 650. There we go. Way better. Yeah. Also, there were some really weird buffs they gave out. Apparently, the DJCA got a buff for some reason, even though that suit is considered really good. Maybe they buffed it because the Yagdoga was too good or something, but they made it even easier to get its Sturmfaust combo off, which it was already kind of easy. I don't know why they gave it to it again, or made it easier, so I guess they really hate supports at 650, but yeah, so the JCA got buffed, and the Gogu Vertex, I actually don't mind some of the Gogu Vertex's buff because some of them make sense, like giving it a double dodge roll and changing the damage you receive from the quick turn, which I keep forgetting I have that, from 50% to like 30%, and actually takes down your it takes less thruster consumption as well. So that's definitely a fine buff for the Vertex. But they also buffed up its melee damage, which is weird. And I believe their reasoning is that the Gogu Vertex was spending too much time in just at range, which is fine because the Gogu Vertex has a really good range weapon that it can poke at supports with, and then when it's finally time to go for the support, they can fuck them up with their melee. I don't know what they want the Vertex to do. They want them to just run in there just willy-nilly with its melee. I don't know, but Vertex is still a really good suit, and they buffed it, so now it's going to be even better. And then they buffed the gun cannon detector, which, to be honest, I actually haven't seen a gun cannon detector in a while. Well, actually, I've seen one or two, but they used to be like all the rage. But they buffed it, and I guess a lot of people were complaining they wanted to shoot more, so they reduced its heat rate and its reload time on some of its weapons. So now it can stun lock even better, which okay, that's fine. Okay. That's going to be annoying for a lot of the generals at 450, 500. I actually haven't played the gun cannon detector in a while. I might do that. And also, I tried to start a spectating match earlier, and maybe they didn't implement it yet, but I haven't figured out how to. If any of you guys in the comment section want to tell me how, I'd very much appreciate it, because I actually do want to stream me doing spectator matches so I can look and watch people fight. I think that would be a really interesting idea to do, kind of like Salty Bet. If you don't know what Salty Bet is, that's like Mugen. It is Mugen actually, which is a system where you can have a bunch of fighting game characters from different fighting games fighting each other, and people can like bet on who's gonna win a match. You know, yeah, like Scorpion versus Ryu from Street Fighter. Maybe I can do something similar where you can have two teams bet on them. Maybe not with real money, of course. I don't want to take people's money away, but uh, uh, yeah, if you guys figured out how to do spectate, or maybe it's just they don't have it in yet, just make sure you tell me because I really like to do that. And yeah, that's gonna be it, and I will see you guys later. Bye.